Welcome into the Backcountry Podcast. This is episode 3.
Myself, Levi, and Lucas.
What's going on?
What's up?
So what's everyone been up to this past week, other than playing in the ice and snow?
Not much. Just cutting boards, playing with my wood.
Gee whiz.
Yeah.
What a start.
Yeah, I haven't been up to much at all,
Any hunting?
No.
Not a whole lot going on.
Anyone gone ice fishing?
No.
No.
Definitely not. I would love to, but no.
I don't know, man. I don't like fishing to begin with. I don't like fishing a whole lot. But
That's
ice
going to
fishing-
change.
I'm
That's
ready- I'm ready for trout.
Would be miserable.
Ready for trout.
Yes.
Are you going trout with us? Why?
I don't like streams.
Oh my god.
I like my ponds.
Come on.
Guys, we caught a 5-pound bass today. Woo! Actually, more like,
If
we
you
caught
find-
a 3-pound bass, guys.
Hey, if you find the right pond.
There is no pond
I have
better than a
nothing
river.
against pond fishing, but
Trout is way better.
No.
yes.
yeah.
No. I don't agree.
Well, you're stupid.
What's the biggest trout you ever caught?
None.
We're being honest here.
Lucas,
I
what's the
caught a
biggest you ever
couple.
caught?
Biggest I've ever caught? I don't think I ever recorded it.
Right.
Or, like,
That's-
yeah.
I've gone when I was younger. I never measured them.
I've got some decent ones.
Out of a
What all do you measure, Levi?
I measure everything. Length, width, girth. I mean, you name it, I got measurements on it.
I can't believe it.
Unreal.
So you've never measured a fish you caught?
Bass I have.
What's
Weight-
the biggest,
weight
what's the
or
biggest
what?
bass?
Wait,
Wait. What was it?
7 pounds.
That's bull. That's bull.
Swear.
You must have had your foot on the scale.
No.
You wasn't like giving a little tug or anything?
Nope.
7 pounds.
7 pounds.
Was it?
It was at Somerset. Camp Conestoga. Is that what it's called?
I don't know.
Is that in Somerset? It was when I was younger.
I don't think
7 pounds is pretty big.
It was this nice little patch. It went in kind of like a cove, and there was a bridge that went across. And it was kind of back in the back, a bunch of cattails and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fat Cheeto.
Shout out to Fat Cheeto. Yeah.
yeah.
Gosh. What's your biggest bass you've ever caught, Levi?
I never measured the biggest one. I didn't have a scale or a tape measure.
I got a picture.
Of what?
My bass.
Oh, boy.
I got pictures of mine too. We should put for our cover. We're gonna put a monologue of our bass.
Yeah, I got a picture of Levi with his 10-pound bass too.
It was not 10 pounds.
Oh, where is that picture?
What was it?
I'm gonna pull it
I don't know. I didn't measure it.
You don't have to measure it for the weight.
I got a built-in scale in my arms. I'm able to say, oh yeah, that's 10-pounder.
Here we go. Right here. Right here is Levi's 10-pound bass.
Let's see it. What's that? Oh,
Your 10-pound bass. Or 12. 12 and a quarter.
pounds.
12 and a quarter.
No.
Ah.
That's at 122.
12.25.
Yeah.
Just so everybody is aware, it was not a 12-pound bass. It was more or less a
That's-
6-inch bass.
That's the same day we got 3 poles stuck in a tree.
How long ago was that?
That's
Probably 2 summers ago.
June 2022. Unreal.
Unreal.
Time flies.
Unreal.
Now we're here. Levi's all grown up.
Unreal.
Yeah, he changed.
Unreal.
Okay. We're about to cut Levi's mic here. in a second.
No, don't do that.
All right.
All right, let's get on the topic.
Has anyone going shed hunting anytime soon?
Me and Jake went Sunday. Last Sunday.
Find anything?
Whole lot of trees, branches, a little bit of snow. No sheds within distance of where we could see though.
I'll tell you what I did find. My
What's
trail
that?
cams that I forgot about. You're missing a foot.
Yeah. See that?
Trail cam finds are always nice.
I need to check those.
Even if they're not yours, it's nice just to
Nice to find them.
find an extra one. You gotta make sure it doesn't have an antenna on the side, though.
Yeah.
Because then you're screwed.
Then you just break it.
I don't think that helps.
Before it can send it to the guy's phone, you gotta slam a rock on it or something.
Yeah.
PSA, don't do that.
Yeah, we don't
Another
do that.
PSA, don't think we do that. Just
Yeah.
Lucas. It's just Lucas.
I definitely do not do
We're
that.
just
I've
joking
never
around.
done that.
We don't actually take other people's cameras.
No.
Okay, so I got a question for
Not
Cooper.
often, at least. No, I'm just
Why
kidding.
don't you like river or stream fishing for trout?
Because I never catch anything. It might just be my skills of fishing.
What do you use, like ultralight? What do you use?
He uses a bait caster with a big old frog.
Ultralight?
Do you fish
That
with an
right
ultralight?
there- That right there is
What's that?
the one question that right there.
You don't know what an
See,
ultralight is?
I'm not a big fisherman.
Okay,
Well,
so
okay,
you know
so-
how you have your rod sizes? Like there's heavy,
Yeah.
there's
Medium,
medium,
heavy,
heavy,
medium.
there's medium,
Light, medium light, and
there's
then
light, and then there's ultralight.
I've never really paid attention to that, to be honest.
Really?
Probably like a medium.
Where do you have your pole that you fish for trout with?
Do I fish for trout?
Okay, well this spring
We're gonna get you hooked up with.
Cooper is gonna learn how to fly fish.
We're gonna get you hooked up with a spinner and an ultralight. And we're gonna find.
Ooh.
We're gonna find a nice little hole, and we're gonna catch
I
some
want to
fish.
tie my own fly.
If you come to my house, okay. If Cooper comes to my house within the next couple days, we will make a YouTube video of Cooper tying his first fly.
Yeah, guys, be on the lookout for it. It'll be totally sick.
It will be.
Dude, I want to be involved in that. I want to tie my fly. I don't think I ever. I know I didn't. I never tied a fly.
No. It's fun.
Do you
It's
even
fun.
fish?
I don't fly fish.
You should.
I definitely do want to get into it though.
It's definitely a whole lot more fun than pond fishing for bass.
I've
It's
Yeah,
okay.
flip
Okay.
A frog in
Hold
the,
on. Hold
in
on.
The lily pads or cattails, dude. Wham!
No. Okay. So I'm gonna put it this way: would you rather bow hunt or rifle hunt, Cooper?
Bow hunt.
Why?
Because
Because why?
I don't know.
like
More
2
of
years
a-
ago. Would you have had the same answer?
No. No. This is for current. Why would you rather rifle hunt? What is better about rifle or archery hunting? Like, what is more rewarding, or which part of it makes you want to bow
definitely
hunt?
harder than rifle.
Okay, but why would you rather something be hard? What is your end goal of having something harder?
It's rewarding.
Exactly. So if you go in every aspect of you fishing, so like you make your own flies, you get your fly rod and you catch a fish on it, it's more rewarding.
Yeah.
Whoops, whoops.
I don't know.
You know, that's
I
what
see fishing is one of those things that it's a time waster.
it seems like
I like
that
to just
on the
go
days where you don't catch anything.
I can tell you this
I
right
just
now.
like to go out with like any free time I have during the summer. I like to just go to the pond or something. If I have time to kill.
The only
I don't,
the
like,
only
like
exception
hunting is it's almost like a priority. You know what I mean? Like I want to be in the woods. That's got to be hard for me. You know what I mean?
Fishing for me is more
Hunting.
of.
That's why hunting's like a sport to me. Fishing more of just a hobby.
I don't fish by myself. When I
I
fish,
do.
I fish with other people because it's one of those things where I have to
See, I don't fish
be
by-
involved with somebody else.
Then you
to,
get
to
someone
do
like
it.
Levi, and then
I always
your whole
catch
day's
nice
ruined.
fish.
I can't like. I don't fish by myself just because
listen.
it gets boring.
I took
This-
Levi to my grandma's pond one time, and I was just over on the one side throwing my line in the water, and all of a sudden, whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. I looked over and Levi just whacking his pole in the water. I was like, "What in the world?"
My hook was caught on my rod tip. I was upset.
He wasn't. He didn't catch anything in the pond. Levi's not a pond fisher.
No, I hate ponds.
I
See,
enjoy
you can
both.
Look,
I
you can
enjoy
look at one
both.
part of the pond, and you can be like, "That is where fish are." You can't do that with rivers.
Yes, you can.
kinda,
I could
but you're not guaranteed.
Rivers-
you can guarantee
okay.
when you go to a pond.
flowing water. You could put in a mile above where, let's say that you park your truck a mile and you walk up and you fish down. You have a mile of area to where you can fish either side, fish every part of it, versus a pond, you are limited to, unless you have, it's a bigger pond and you have a boat, you're limited to banks and how far you can cast. versus if you have a pair of waders in a river or a creek, you could fish both banks, every part of it. You could fish every pocket, everywhere that a fish might be, you might be able to get there. Versus a pond.
Not to mention that when you're fishing flowing water, there's always somewhere new to be.
Exactly.
Always.
With a pond,
it gets old.
You're
Pick
limited.
a new pond.
Okay, but how many ponds do you have access to? Versus
It's
if
not like you go in and you catch everything right away.
Pond hopping is something that I would consider doing, especially like if you go in a bigger area where it's more
fun.
accessible. But
if you go, like where we live, we have miles of access to creeks. Because I think in PA you can be 6 feet up on a bank. Don't quote me on that, but you can be 6 feet up on a bank anywhere. So you could fish anywhere.
you can get your own secret areas too. Like,
all PA,
there's so many areas and streams where people don't know about, and then you could be the first one to find it, and there just be like a crazy amount of fish in that hole.
Pretty well, all flowing water in PA
set.
is public. Versus ponds, they're all farm ponds, and maybe a stocked pond for one or two.
With the big belly bass, you know what I mean?
I don't know. I'd rather catch a trout over a bass.
I feel
You evenly disagree.
No.
like in a way, yeah.
Well, I mean,
I love catching trout, but I also love catching bass. Like
I'm not saying I hate catching bass, but there's just so much more to catching a trout. Like they're so much prettier, pound for pound, they fight so much harder.
Dude, and like the environment that you're in when you are fishing for trout, like some of the areas are just like beautiful.
Yeah.
Like even if you don't catch anything, it's just like
It's scenic.
it's so refreshing to be like.
Versus a pond, you're in somebody's cow pasture.
I feel like every time I was ever fishing for trout, I was like in a really nice, cool area, surrounded by trees and rocks, and it's just beautiful. And then every time I fish for bass, I'm just baking in the sun.
It's true. I mean, like if you want to get out on the water, you're baking. Because we're not rich enough to get fancy boats. We're always in aluminum John boats, and those get pretty toasty.
True.
No,
They do.
like fishing off a boat in a big like dam or something like that. That is fun.
It's fun, but
Dam, pond, same thing. And then you get those grandmas that feed their fish.
And then they never
or
want to eat
just the
anything but
ponds.
the feed.
The ponds that are in the shape of the whole bunch of algae.
those suck.
No.
Those suck.
That's
Every
where you find
time you pull your whatever you're fishing with out and it's covered in algae, that just makes me want to kick a fat kid right in the face.
Oh yeah,
Not actually, but
you want to kick yourself in the face.
It's Fat Kid at Kmart. It's not Fat Kid in the face.
okay, but
Oh my.
but like with a creek or river, you're not facing that at all, really. You might catch a leaf every 60 casts, but
Yeah,
Now,
you catch
now-
a whole bunch of rocks.
There's definitely one thing about a pond that beats a creek any day is that there's fish in a pond.
Exactly. That's what I like. I don't like to what's the word? Like push myself or to have to try to catch fish. Like I just like to go out and catch fish.
that's kind of the fun part, though.
Not for me. Like hunting, I like the whole journey of trying to find deer, trying to find their bedding or whatever. But fishing, I just want to go out. It's like riding a side by side or
Well, I could tell
throwing
you,
baseball.
I could
throwing
tell you
football.
that I've had similar experiences like that with fish. Whereas me and somebody that I fished with, there's this real big palomino, which would be golden trout. It broke me off 3 days before, and it moved probably 500, 600 yards up the creek, and I had to go find it, re-catch it, and it was one of the biggest ones I ever caught.
I don't know, but I will say I feel like a successful day of trout fishing in a beautiful area, catching like a lot of fish and some bigger fish, is just as rewarding as killing a decent sized buck. In my opinion.
I wouldn't say a buck.
I don't
Catching trout would be like the equivalent to small game. Whereas
I don't feel that way.
a buck is like you get one tag, you get one opportunity to fill that tag, versus a trout. You can catch 5 a
And the
day.
buck's not only the killing.
I'm just talking, like-
Afterwards, you hang the mount or whatever. It's just there forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And your meat too. You get to eat it then. I mean, you can, but
You can do the
Big-
same thing with fish.
Well, you can. Big game.
for one night.
Big game's a little bit different than fish. But I mean, catching fish is almost as rewarding as a decent buck.
A
See, but
decent buck, not
with
like a
with your
trophy.
bow,
Like,
that's the same way I felt with my deer this fall. That one I shot and hit the shoulder blade. We tracked it for 6 miles, and the next morning I was like, "I'm gonna get that son of a gun. I swear, I'm not gonna give up till I find it."
and then you gave up.
But see, you feel that way about fishing. I feel that way about hunting.
Well, I feel
Fishing's
that.
just
I feel that way about
hobby.
both. But like, the number one game that I like to kill is turkeys. There is not an animal that you interact more than a turkey.
Yeah.
You got to do that this spring. We're gonna get you a bird this spring. First time Cooper's ever went turkey hunting, I think.
We'll
This
hand
spring.
off the 3.5-inch 10-gauge Magnum.
Actually, I shoot 3-inch because I have an old gun and it doesn't take 3.5. But listen, that high brass turkey thumping son of a gun's killed a couple birds. No, it's more like
Boy. Okay.
You know,
Enough of the sound effects.
they're dead.
you got that.
There he is, Lucas. Whip. Since you're the turkey master of the group, where have you had the most success with turkeys? Like fields or
Edges.
Well,
Really?
no.
Every time I ever hunt turkey is on the edge of a field. Well,
Okay, but-
no, that's not true.
I've had.
well, that's kind of what I mean by.
I've had
fields,
turkeys-
like just in the field in general.
Well, it all depends. Like, there is not a turkey that can roost in the middle of a field.
Right.
Now, midday, whenever they're feeding or strutting, they might go make it to a field, but they're not. They're not coming off the roost into the field.
I should say
I take
if
that
there's a
back
surrounding
sometimes.
area with field. Like I've hunted property where it was nothing but woods, but there's surrounding areas with field and feeding areas where they want to be.
I mean, fields are like this spring. I killed mine on the edge of a field, but I've also killed turkeys in the middle of a woods, a mile from a field, and it just all depends on. It all depends on the landscape. I mean, if you have a little patch of woods that turkeys are roosting, you might want to be on a field edge, set up your decoys in a field. But
Right.
fields aren't a main priority for turkeys right away in the morning. Sometimes they are, sometimes they aren't. It all depends on where they roost and where you almost have to have them patterned almost like a deer.
So here comes the big question.
Now, let me ask you real quick.
No. Hold
Okay.
on. Box, slate, or mouth call?
Mouth call. You can do so much more diverse things on a mouth call than any box or slate call. You can purr
Mouth
on a
call
slate.
takes a lot more skill though. If you're good at a mouth call,
It doesn't take a
like I'm gonna be 100% honest, I suck. Like
you just got to
suck with a mouth.
practice. I mean, it's just like shooting your bow or shooting, anything. You got to practice to get good at it, and it's the same with a mouth call.
And then you just piss everybody off.
Is that what you do whenever you get your Xbox taken? You just sit in your room and practice with your mouth.
Listen. My dad was telling me that he got in, I think it was Spanish class. He was turkey calling and he got taken to the office.
Mm-hmm.
Me and somebody this past spring were calling in government class, and I'll tell you what, it got awful close. She was not happy. But that's whenever you get the best, in the middle of class.
In the middle of class,
Oh, boy.
yeah.
Teachers love turkey calling. Everybody out there, teachers love it. So take your mouth call and go practice in the middle of biology class. Points from a pro.
Oh,
Go yelp while she is teaching a lesson.
he's named himself a pro now. This has gone too far.
Listen, if you take a turkey
Did you
call to
ask him
school,
what you were gonna ask before I
I forgot what I
interrupted?
was going to ask you. I don't know. Oh, have you ever shot a turkey from the roost?
no.
Where's your badge officer?
300 Win Mag.
Where's your badge at, officer? Show me your badge.
No, that's just I never did it. I wouldn't do it in the spring because
It's illegal? Isn't it illegal?
I can't remember if it's illegal or not. It's definitely frowned upon.
Yeah.
But
See,
I don't know if
I've
it's
heard that it was illegal, and I always wondered why, because
well. It takes
Somebody's sitting in
It
the
takes
woods
all
across
the-
from you and they just get rained on.
it. No, it's not like that. But if you have a turkey in the roost, it has nowhere to go, so you could get as close as you want to it. Now, granted, it might fly, but you could get underneath of it and
yeah,
shoot
but
it.
most turkeys are like, I don't even know.
Well, they get tree stand height off the ground.
Yeah.
Like they're not flying to the clear top of a tree. They're finding a good branch. You know,
I guess.
to where because if they get so high up in the canopy, they can't see below them. So if something's waiting for it to come down, it stays in the tree. And if you take a shotgun, you could shoot it out of the tree. So I don't know if it's illegal or not, but it's definitely frowned upon
Yeah.
because it takes all the calling and finesse skill out of it in the spring
It's like deer hunting at night.
with a spotlight. That's almost exactly how it is hunting with a spotlight.
Yeah.
Because the deer have nowhere to go, and if you have a rifle, you could shoot them with a spotlight, and it takes all of the patterning out of it.
What's the farthest you've ever shot at a turkey?
This spring, I had a bird come in, and I couldn't get a shot, and I did something it didn't like, and it started taking a couple steps away. So I got up real quick, and it stood up and looked at me, and as it was picking its head up to look, I got it. It was probably 50 some yards.
I shot a turkey. Oh, when was this? This is 1 or 2 years ago. It was almost 80 yards away. 10 gauge.
10 gauge has a lot of BBs.
Yeah, you can reach out there with one of them. I wouldn't be surprised if I could smoke a turkey at 100 yards with that.
Well, yeah,
With lead shot, I don't know. TSS definitely. TSS carries far.
I was shooting four shot.
No, TSS is tungsten.
Yeah,
instead of
yeah,
lead.
I know what TSS is. I'm just telling you what I was using. I wasn't using TSS. I was using
This spring I used 6-shot. I used Longbeard XR 6-shot, 3-inch, 12 gauge turkey thumping Magnum, baby. High brass.
Mine's more like thump.
Single shot.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's a good place to end it for this one. If you guys haven't already, go subscribe to our YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram, and follow us on Spotify and Apple Music. Thanks for tuning in this week, guys. We'll see you next week.
See you later.